Welcome back to Lepodcast episode 35. As always, you're here with Hoop, Saney, and the infamous ZZ Huncho. Bright and early this morning. It's our first morning recording. That was a bar. That rhymed, actually. But Saney has a lot to do today, so we had to go early. It is 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Eastern time over here. He has an extra hour of sleep. But before we get into the show, I have a couple rapid-fire start bench cuts that can turn into some nasty discussions. Starting off with the small forwards. Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant. Saney.
I think you cut Jimmy Butler instantly in that conversation. As good as he is, we're talking about the front runner for the MVP, and we're talking about Kevin Durant. Now it's between Jason Tatum or Kevin Durant as the start or the bench. And this is because we're talking right now, right? Like, we're speaking in terms of right now, correct?
For now.
Okay. That's hard, bro. That's hard. Call me controversial. I mean, I think it's not controversial either way you go. I'm starting Jason Tatum, and I'm benching Kevin Durant. I think Jason Tatum deserved to start after this season. I could see the point that I know you guys like to say he's a little inconsistent or hasn't shown up enough in big moments. But give me my boy JT. I'm starting JT. I'm benching KD. And Jimmy Butler, I hate to say it, you're cut.
Right off rip, Jimmy Butler's getting cut. That's not even, as soon as you said his name, I was like, oh God, he's getting cut. I'm sorry. But like Sandy said, I don't think you can go wrong either way, but just because this is a podcast and I'm just going to be a little bit different, I'll say I'll start KD and bench JT. But there's nothing wrong with that. I see both of them doing their thing either way. You can make a case for both.
Now it's playoff time.
Oh,
Do
God.
the same start bench cut.
Well, the guy I started destroyed the guy I benched in the playoffs. So I'm going to keep my lineup.
I'm gonna switch JT to the start and KD to the bench, but Jimmy's out of there because I mean I'm gonna live and die by KD shooting that thing.
What?
As good as Jimmy
I
Butler is in the
understand.
playoffs,
No. It's not Jimmy Butler. I agree. He's significantly worse. Kevin Durant, I don't think should get switched with Jason Tatum strictly because you're going to the playoffs. I'm starting Kevin Durant anyway.
Okay, fair.
It's hard.
Just because you're going to the playoffs, you put Tatum over KD?
It's hard.
I want
no,
KD
I
to
had him
come off-
there. Oh, he's talking to Z.
No, I'm
I
talking
want
to
KD
Z.
I want KD to come off the bench and just go crazy. I mean, shoot,
No,
he's gonna average 30.
who's
JT in the playoffs gonna average 32. It's tough because both these guys right now are averaging 30. You put them in the playoffs. I mean, you're just having. I don't know. You're just gonna have JT. Out
I
there with your
understand.
starters, you know
I
what I'm saying?
understand why you would switch. Why you would start Kevin Durant though.
Me too.
Man, I don't know. Like, is it a product of the Celtics being that good that allows Jason Tatum to flourish, or is Jason Tatum the reason that the Celtics
I've
are
seen
that
KD
good?
take over too many times.
Too many times.
I've
That's a
seen
thing.
it too many
That's a
times.
thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, low key, like the Nets last year was not Kevin. That team was.
There's a shot
The
he could have had a
biggest booty.
finals appearance 2 years ago
Right.
with the foot on the line.
But Jason Tatum did have a finals appearance.
Yeah,
Because
Tatum-
the Celtics are significantly better than the Nets
That's true.
supporting
That's
cast.
true. That's very true. That's very true.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. You know what? Man.
Screw it. You know what, Katie? Get your bald ass up. You getting
Nah,
starting today.
I'm sticking with
starting.
JT. I think this season, if we're talking this season, right? Because we're talking right now.
Yeah.
I have a really good feeling about JT, so I'm gonna stick with him.
I did see the Lakers game. He took over. I mean, the Lakers still blew it. Anthony Davis should have. Dude, that game was awful. That game was awful.
Have you guys noticed? Have you guys noticed in like the last 3 or 4 Lakers games, this guy has missed a crucial free throw? Am I the only one noticing this? That
Yes,
Anthony
bro,
Davis
yes.
is steady missing free throws for the game.
And you know what's nuts
Like,
is they always
this is-
show a graphic. He's like 11 of 13 or like
Yeah.
12 of 14, and then he just misses 2 straight. It's like
He
yo!
was 1 for 2 when it mattered the most.
Yeah.
I don't care what he was. Like, oh my god! And like
Terrible.
Westbrook, like ruining Westbrook's legacy out here. Jeez Louise.
He was really bad in overtime. He was real like they were like leaving him wide open like a young
Based on-
Rajon Rondo or like Ben
Bro, I don't want to
Simmons.
hear this. I don't want to hear this Knicks fan talk, bro. Start the segment. I don't want to
Hey,
hear
the
this.
Knicks have the best record of the fans here. They're better than the
Yeah, by a
Warriors
game.
as it stands today. I
Oh
think
my
it's 2
God.
games, is it not? I think it's 2 games.
I think it's no. They were 14 and yeah, it's 1 game. It's 1 game. The Warriors just got to
Celtics-
win one more game. Be
the
500.
Warriors are 500.
They're below. They're 1 game below 500.
Wait, I think
By,
the Knicks are.
from last night.
The Knicks are
Did they
not.
lose last night?
The Knicks are
the
15 and
Pacers? Yeah,
13.
they
What
did.
are you talking about?
I thought the Knicks were 15 and 14.
No,
Oh, well.
only
damn.
W's.
Only WD's nuts. All right, cool. Keep them rolling. King
Our
Julius,
next,
I'm proud of you, Hoop.
our next start bench cut. Oh wait, first Z, did you see the ankle breaker on Alex Caruso last night? Jalen Brunson.
Oh, that was the definition of get back right there. That was the definition of get back with a dagger.
With the
on
right
Caruso,
camera
on the best
angle, he
defender?
literally slides out the frame.
They said he was overpaid. That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right, we got to get into this next one. Jokic, Embiid, Anthony Davis.
I'm cutting AD. From
To
the
make it
jump.
more fun, can we just say they're all like healthy? You can still cut them, but
I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
I'm taking the last 2 weeks AD. I'm still cutting them from the jump. Because
see,
Embiid
I feel
and Jokic.
I feel like that's a little
Embiid-
ignorant. It's
It's
off the jump. Off the
Because
jump.
we're talking about Embiid and Jokic. Like I know, even if Embiid is a hair better than Anthony
Yeah, well, you
Davis,
said
I
off the
know he
rip.
is. I doesn't. As long as I know, I might as
Okay,
well just
okay.
off the. There's,
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean. Like I know instantly these two are better. It doesn't matter how much better they are. It could be a hair.
Sure,
could be a
sure.
fraction. It's still off the jump. You know, 7 is bigger than 6. You gotta look at it that way. All right. I'm starting Jokic. I'm benching Embiid. I'm cutting AD. I think the proof is in the pudding. I think Embiid and Jokic have proven they can do more by themselves. I think Anthony Davis, all of his success relied on having the greatest player of all time beside him. We've seen Anthony Davis beside another superstar, such as DeMarcus Cousins. We've seen Anthony Davis run that Pelicans team for as long as he could. Never did anything.
Was Boogie ever a superstar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
sure.
was. He was. He was. In
For
his
sure.
prime, he was.
I
He
think
was,
our view
bro.
of superstardom is shifted into this new age, and I don't think Boogie meets those requirements.
When I
Back
looked at,
then, he
back
was a
then,
superstar.
Boogie was
You were the best center
big
in the league. He was
Yeah.
the best big in
that
the league. He
that
was
position
dominant.
was significantly weaker than every other.
100%.
Yeah, but it made-
100%.
he was a
100%.
superstar.
But like,
I
yeah,
guess so,
like.
yeah. I like Boogie,
yeah,
I'm
you're
just
right.
saying.
You're right. Nowadays he might not be because I see this
Right.
whole thing about people talk about prime DeMarcus Cousins is better than Embiid and Jokic. Hell no. Hell no.
Nah.
Hell no.
Nah.
But he was a superstar back then because you're right. It was significantly weaker. It was much easier to be a superstar. Nowadays it's he's an all-star for sure. Superstar is a stretch. Like he's better than Cat. I'll take him over Cat.
Yeah.
I'll put him right
That's a
below. I'll
given,
put him
that's
right
a
below
given.
Embiid and Jokic. I'll put him right below Embiid and Jokic. But the reason I put Jokic back-to-back MVP, I mean, statistically, this guy could end up as one of the, if not the best center we've ever seen, other than like Shaq or even then, like statistically, Jokic is the best center we've ever seen, efficiency-wise. The stat, like this is proven. This is a fact. This is not me just pulling this out my behind. Embiid, bro, that guy, it's insane. Bro, he's 7 foot fading away like Kobe Bryant, and he could dominate in the paint. Like, you got to take him. Anthony Davis, no clutch gene whatsoever. Can't lead a team by himself.
I think
and I'm
you're
factoring in he's healthy. I'm pretending he's healthy. And it's still those two factors right there are the two factors that Jokic and Embiid possess, which is why I have to put them over Anthony Davis.
For me, unfortunately, AD is also getting cut. However, I am going to, because of what Sadie just said about Nikola Jokic, we get it. He's one of the greatest statistical bigs of all time. I low-key want Jokic coming off my bench, getting other guys involved, and just let Joel go get his in the starting lineup. I'd much rather.
No,
have
it's
Jokic.
about like start is the number 1 player, bench is the number 2 player. It's
He's
like
a GM
it's like a
over here.
ranking.
I
This
am
guy's
going
this guy's
GM.
acting like we're running a team. No, it's just like
Hey,
who's the best,
well-
who's the second best, who's the third best.
Well, fine. I don't see. Here's the thing. It's tough because Joel's the number 1 leading scorer in the league right now. So it's
This
like
guy-
he can make a compelling case for
He gave-
Joel. right
gave
now.
Jokic the Westbrook treatment. He's like, I'm gonna
I
bring you
did.
off the second
You
unit.
definitely covered off the second. Yeah, you covered up with the second unit. Okay, screw it. I'll go. I'm gonna go start Joel and then bench Jokic and then get AD out of here. Strictly because Joel right now, he's leading the league in points right now, and he is the end all be all for his team right now with Harden just getting back from injury and still kind of struggling to find his footing since he's been back. But I mean Joel just dropped like 53 the other night, so he's been having these just scoring tears in this season. 62 against I don't know who that was, but 62 the other month. So right now, Joel, bench Jokic, AD missing free throws, get out of here.
And are these lists the same for the playoffs?
I'm taking Jokic.
I'm taking
my
Jokic
exact
over
lineup.
Joel.
My exact lineup.
In the playoffs. I'll take Jokic
Yeah.
over Joel in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I would. So my only concern is I like the rim protection in the playoff time. I would actually lean to give Joel an edge in the playoffs over Jokic because of the half-court defense. And there's been plenty of times where Jokic has not been exposed necessarily, but Mike Malone will have to sub him in and out of the lineup at the end of
Jokic
games
has
'cause
had
they're
more
gonna switch
playoff
people
success
onto him.
though. Historically, Jokic has had more playoff success than Joel Embiid.
Does that not lead to? Isn't that a product of teams?
Yeah, but the Sixers on paper have a much better team than the Nuggets.
I mean,
Jokic makes the Nuggets that good.
Technically,
Jokic
if
is the
Ben
reason.
Simmons
It's
didn't-
not a case where it's not a
he's
case
had
where
to
it's
deal with
like if
Ben
you replace
Simmons and
if you
Doc
replace the
Rivers
Nuggets
and-
if you replace the Nuggets if you replace Jokic with Embiid on the Nuggets, they're not as good. Jokic makes that team good. His
I agree.
playmaking at the center position is
But the
ridiculous.
Sixers are not going to be all that.
The
with-
Sixers, bro, coming up, bro, that Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons year in 2019 when Kawhi barely, like the Raptors beat them on a Kawhi Game 7 buzzer beater, like that team was meant to do bits. Like if they make it, like they were supposed to go all the way. Jokic has never had a team where you look at them and we're like, oh, you're supposed to go all the way. Never. We've never looked at a Nuggets team and said they're going to win the championship. We've seen a Philly team like that. The Philly was supposed to have a ring. And we all expected that going into the end of the 2010s, like that year. They have the stacked team. They bring on Doc Rivers. Everybody's expecting them to do bits. They didn't do anything. They got knocked out in the second round. Whereas Jokic, bro, the Nuggets lost to the Lakers in the bubble, who went on to win the championship, and they were battling them. They went toe to toe. Like it took like an Anthony Davis fadeaway buzzer beater to win one of the games. I think they lost that series 4-2. Correct me if I'm wrong, but bro, they went toe to toe with that Lakers team, and that Lakers team, arguably, I hate how people don't like trash that championship team. They would have won the ring regardless if it was in person or in the bubble. I don't care what it was. They were an amazing team.
Do you agree that Anthony Davis could have won a Finals MVP?
With LeBron? Hell no. With LeBron on the team? No.
No, in
LeBron
terms of
James
who
on the team?
deserved it.
Oh no, it's LeBron. If LeBron is in the finals, he's the Finals MVP. That's not a knock to Anthony Davis. It's LeBron. LeBron in the finals.
I think Davis had a compelling case.
He had a legit shot.
He had a legit case. Kyrie
Where's
Irving had a
LeBron?
case. Dwayne Wade had a case, but it's LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Is stepping up in the
I just
finals,
want my damn respect.
Is that a clutch thing that happens when you step up in the finals? You said AD doesn't possess a clutch gene. I've seen
Yeah,
so
but Bam
many
Adebayo was
defensive
injured.
plays.
Bam Adebayo was injured for a bunch of that series. Like who was their center presence to face AD in the paint? He didn't have a true defender that could guard him.
Dwayne Dedman.
Dwayne, yeah, like let's be honest. And Bam Adebayo was crazy that season, crazy defensively that season, and he was injured. He got injured in that Celtics series.
I wonder
so
what's going to happen.
You got to factor that in.
I wonder what's going to
That's
happen with Bam and the Heat because they're just a mess right now.
100%. The Heat are terrible, but we're talking about the 2020 bubble Heat when they were crazy.
Yeah.
And remember this. Bam Adebayo injured. Goran Dragic, who was dropping 20 a game, was injured, and they were still going to it was still going down to the clutch. With just
6.
Jimmy Butler. With Miami, right? So you gotta factor in stuff like that, where it's like, did you step up or did you get like? I'm not saying that he wouldn't have played as well as he did if Bam Adebayo was there. He would have still played great, but did you step up or did you just take the opportunity of an injury?
Yeah, Davis is still my cut, but let's move on to the last one. I saw this on Twitter. Start bench cut: Devin Booker, Trae Young, Jaylen Brown. Z smiling.
I'm cutting Trey. I'm benching Book. I'm starting Jaylen Brown.
The reason I smiled was because I just saw Funny Fat Boy's TikTok video yesterday, and he was like, "Am I tripping, or does Trey Young just like not belong here?" And I was like, nah, you got, yeah, I can see your point. I'm cutting Trey. I don't see where he specifically fits in with D Book and Jalen Brown, considering that they're shooting guards. But I think for me personally, I am going to start Jalen Brown because I'm looking more at the Celtics. When the Celtics kind of, or the narrative around the Celtics is that so far this season has been Jalen Brown is kind of, I mean, not Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum has been the end all be all to this team's success. And I don't like that. He's been probably, you can say he's the main contributing factor. However, Jalen Brown has like kind of just went underrated throughout parts of this season. And I just don't like that. My bro's averaging 27 a game. Okay, 27 a game on 45%. Oh, wait, hold on. Excuse me. 50% shooting from the field.
27 as a second option is crazy.
27 as a second option is absolutely bonkers, but you won't hear about it because everybody's so in love with JT. Now we got to give Jalen Brown some love. So I'm gonna put Jalen Brown right there as my starter. D-Book obviously off the bench, and the little gremlin can get cut. Moving forward.
So it's an easy cut for Trey then.
It's easy for Trey only because A, I don't know why Trey Young is in this at all with two shooting guards / small forward caliber guys, and B, in this case, I guess since you're ranking it out of the three of them, I'm just gonna say like size kind of.
Trey Young's just been hella inefficient, bro.
And he has been very inefficient as well. You don't know what there's stretches where I'm like, is this Trey's team or DeJounte's? I don't know anymore.
Weird thing to mention. I don't know if you guys have noticed this little trend. I remember last year, like before the season that just passed, at the beginning they were talking about trading Jalen Brown or one of them because they don't work, and then they go to the finals, and then this offseason they're talking about trading Jalen Brown. Then he comes in and drops 27. Like this guy, every time his name is in the media, he just destroys. Like he just dominates, and he just like makes the Celtics thank God that they didn't trade him. I just wanted to mention that.
Not to mention the fact that between the three of them, you got Devin Booker shooting at 48% from the field and 38% from three. As I just mentioned, Jalen Brown shooting 50% from the field and 34% from three. And then Trey Young shooting 41% from the field and 29% from three. Those damn near look like Jordan Poole numbers. I can't. I genuinely can't.
So do you think that Jalen Brown would have a similar level of production if he was a first option, like comparing him to Book?
I'm low-key scared to see what his production would be if he was.
I think
he
would drop 30 a game. He would drop 30 a game. He would drop 30 a game. If JT ever goes down, God forbid, and he has to carry that Celtics team in the regular season, he's averaging 30 points a game. Easily.
All right, that's all I got for our start bench cut segment. Now to talk about the Phoenix Suns. They're everyone's favorite team to hate on. We're going to see them in person play the Knicks and MSG. That'll be a blast because Knicks fans are already hateful to any team, let alone the Phoenix Suns. The Pelicans beef has stirred. I've been loving all of it. I love CJ McCollum was saying, get back on defense if you don't want Zion doing a 360 dunk on you at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's 48 minutes in a basketball game. Don't be prepared to play 46 minutes.
Chris Paul is an instigator. He plays dirty. All those narratives to me are true, and the Suns are just not likable by any means. They're 16-12 right now, fourth in the West, but in their last 6 games, they're 1-5. I saw a graphic on Basketball Forever. Shout out Basketball Forever. They said they're 1-6 ever since Chris Paul got exposed by Kanye West.
The Kardashian curse is real.
That's the type of ESPN stat I need to see.
That's one of my favorite graphics. They've always shown the Andre Drummond ones where it's like on multiple teams when he did he was like anytime he makes a funny face, the Bulls suck for a while. But let's start with Saney here. I feel like he has some built up anger.
I don't have any anger to the Suns.
I don't
have an issue with the Suns.
You have a point to prove. You have a point to prove, rather.
I do have a point to prove. I don't know if you guys remember this, but in the summer when we were recording, what did I say? I said the Suns are going to be probably a 4th or 5th seed when it's all said and done at the end of the season because they are going to have problems outside of basketball, and it's going to be on the court. It's going to be their issues in terms of what's the right word? Attitude. Their chemistry is going to be skewed. You can't just have your number one 3-and-D player Or actually, Mikal Bridges. You can't just have one of your crucial role players, 3D players, Jay Crowder, just sit out a season and you guys just keep him on the bench rotting. You can't just have your number 1 overall pick, DeAndre Ayton, basically sign with the Pacers just to bring him back after he didn't talk to Monty Williams the whole summer. I don't like, and I remember I mentioned that when Monty wasn't talking to players for the whole summer, and you guys were like, oh, well, it's the summer. They should take time off.
I still don't think that's the factor for this meltdown.
No, I'm just naming off stuff. I don't think it's a factor. I'm just naming off
So
stuff.
why are you naming it off?
Because it's my reasoning. It was my reasoning behind why I think they're going to be a 4th, 5th seed. It's all
So
factors.
if
It's
it
all this
hasn't-
shit.
if
All
it
this.
hasn't
All this is.
happened-
All this is clumping together, bro, and it's showing on the court. They get agitated quick. You got guys like Chris Paul elbowing players running down the court. They're just trying to like stir up anything.
What does
and
Chris
then they
Paul
go and do
elbowing
this.
people have to do with DeAndre
Bro,
Ayton
built
not
up, built
talking
up,
to
built
his
up. It's a
coach?
mental game. It's a mental game,
Chris
bro. He
Paul's
doesn't
been
want to be
doing
on
that
the
his
court.
entire career.
Bro, it's a mental game. It's all a mental game, man. When you
If it
go,
was
when
something
you're
that we
mad in a
could
situation,
measure, I'd say it. But I just don't think it's that obvious.
I think it's proving.
I see Sadie's
I think
point.
it's proving.
I can see Sadie's point.
Bro, look at that Suns team. You have they're so stuck up. Like, for example, DeAndre Ayton, he was talking about his losing streak. You know what his response was? It's because the teams we see on film aren't the teams we play because everybody wants to like be us.
You
What?
see, here's Sadie's onto something here. The Suns,
Like
I feel
what?
like, are a team. Like you
they're
said,
not.
everybody likes to hate the Suns, right? But they give
They give a
reasons
reason.
as to why.
They give reasons.
Chris Paul
and
elbowing.
they give themselves reasons to hate each other.
Were
and
they,
I've been
were they
calling
not the
this.
same team last year? If you, I like this
not-
reasoning.
No, they're not. They're
They,
not.
they were doing
You
the
have a
same
team-
thing with posting workout videos post game.
Oh,
After,
that's-
after
okay,
a loss.
That's just corny. That's just corny. That's not.
That's just
I'm
them trying
saying
to
you're
stay
giving
relevant.
people
But
reasons to
it's
hate
like,
them.
No, I'm
No.
saying they're giving themselves reasons to hate each other now. They're giving themselves reasons to hate each other.
You look at DeAndre Ayton, right? Like Sandy said back in the summer, we all knew that DeAndre Ayton was disgruntled at coming back to Phoenix. We didn't even know if he was actually going to come back or not. We didn't know if he could have sat out like first half, tried to get traded, things of that nature. But we didn't know. All we knew for damn sure was that D-Book was coming back and Chris Paul was coming back, and we knew Jay Crowder was was on the fence, so we just didn't know. The team is very dysfunctional, I think, at its core, because I don't think that they have a lot of guys that are as locked in as they once were back in 2021, for example, where you have guys that are like when they went up against the Lakers in that first round that year. I remember there was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, the Lakers are going to beat them. The Lakers in 6, Lakers whatever." So I think the Suns found like a reason to band together and say, okay, you know what? It's kind of like us against the media. Maybe they went all the way to the finals, and then they lose in embarrassing fashion, pretty much just to Giannis. Fast forward to the next year, they lose out again in the playoffs, and then this year, all of the things that have built up since they became sort of relevant at the top of the conference with Chris Paul, the addition of Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and things like that, all those things, from what I've seen, have just been built up moments of like things like Devin Booker getting mad at a mascot, things like them posting cringy workout videos after a win or a loss, things like Kanye West tweeting out saying that things like Kanye's tweet, just like so many things that I feel like they're just sitting in the locker room like, damn, you see this tweet?
Jay Crowder getting sat out and still not traded is
Right.
mind blowing to me.
DeAndre Ayton
Mind-blowing.
physically doesn't
Jay
look
Crowder
like he wants to
knows
be
something.
there.
Jay Crowder knows something that we don't. There is issues in that locker room. There is issues in that franchise right now, and there is no way you come off of being a contender and you just want to sit out. You don't just do that.
Right.
I
and
think
last year in the play,
they're definitely dysfunctional in the sense that it is some built up anger between losing in the finals and going out the way they did against Dallas, and then
They're not
losing to
they
the
don't band together.
36ers and all that stuff. I don't think they're giving reasons for each other to hate each other as much as you're saying they. Like, I just can't say that it's all chemistry issues for the reason
They're
they
not.
stink.
There's a lot of it is chemistry. A lot of it is chemistry.
I just can't. You can't see that from the outside, so I don't know what
there's-
that's like.
It's just all these stories, but like, bro, that you can't just have that stuff
How many
happen and
times
just
are
go
NBA
out.
players in the media for bad reasons? Like,
okay. So who?
But you can,
Look at
bro,
them in
like
their
they don't.
last-
You can tell they don't. Like they
Look at
don't
them in
how
their
can,
function as a
last
how
couple
team.
can you
games.
tell?
You can
because they're
tell.
losing.
Not only because they're
Is
losing.
every losing
not only
team dysfunctional in
because they're
chemistry?
good.
No.
I
it's
agree,
because
they're
of
not the
hiccups.
same. They're not the
They have,
same.
It's the hiccups.
They've
you have
had
guys.
hiccups.
Jay Crowder sitting out. DeAndre Ayton trying to find a way out. He had to stay back because he was an RFA. You're not allowed to just leave. The team can offer to make you stay, and that's it. You're done. Chris
So how
Paul
do you-
falling
yeah.
off the face of the earth. Devin Booker is the only player that seems to be and Mikal Bridges that seem to be functional on that team right now.
And you look at DeAndre Ayton. If we were members of the San
It's
of
showing
San
it's
Antonio
showing
Spurs,
that
the
Chris
Phoenix
Paul is not
Suns,
playing good anymore.
Right.
It's
If
showing
Chris
that
Paul is old as anything.
yeah, but his play style is what? Is a playmaker. You don't. He's not uber athletic.
He can
He's
kind of. I
not-
feel like Chris Paul should be able to adapt to his age because of the
Is
fact
Chris
that he
Paul
is a
falling
traditional point
off
guard.
because the Suns no longer like each other?
I think Chris Paul could still flourish on another team. I think he could still be good. I think he could still be a
think-
Tennessee
You think it's
game
because
player.
the Suns are dysfunctional
No,
chemistry-wise
I think
that
the
Chris
Sun-
Paul
no,
sucks?
I think the Suns can't work together anymore. They can't play as a team.
I
anymore.
agree. I agree. They're never going to win a championship with this roster, which is why we should probably get into our next part with the Suns.
They
What
can't
do
play
what
as a
do they
team
need-
anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Great chemistry if you want to play as a team, you need to have great chemistry. No team in NBA history has played great together without having good chemistry. That's
I
just
agree.
not how it works.
This roster is not going to win a championship, and they're not close to it. So what do they need to do to fix it? Do they blow it
Get
up?
rid of
Do
Jay
they-
Crowder first, because you have a piece that isn't even playing that can bring you in something that other teams will want. I guarantee anything is better than Jay Crowder right now because he's sitting on the bench. He's rotting on the bench. A lot of contenders still want to use him.
Bring him to
I
Golden State.
would have pulled the trigger on the Miles Turner Buddy Hield trade for DeAndre Ayton. I don't know why they brought back DeAndre Ayton after everything that happened. He clearly didn't want to be there, and you're like basically forcing him to stay because again he's an RFA, restricted free agent. If you didn't know what that is, Buddy Hield and Miles Turner would have been perfect for the Suns. It's a weird team. It's a weird team.
The
right now.
team to me, when I look at this team, I just feel like there's been like you got to think there's a reason why the Suns are the most hated team like in the league, and it's because I feel like they've given so many opportunities for us to sit back and be like, y'all are frauds. And I mean, from 2021 when they lost to Giannis, I was like, I can see this team making it back. I can see this team making it back. And then they get absolutely thrashed by Luka in one game. In one game, Luka became their father, right? So then you look at the last 5 games, right? They lost to Dallas a few nights ago or a couple weeks ago, lose to Boston, then lose back-to-back games to the Pelicans, one of which they got upset and got all butthurt because Zion threw down a windmill for the children. And then they followed that up by losing to the Rockets. The freaking Rockets, bro. They lost to the Rockets by I believe 14 points is what I'm reading right now. Like these losses that they're having are like we just saw them at the top of the Western Conference. So it's like you could say they're going on a bad stretch, but in my opinion, when watching them play, it's like imagine if they didn't have to play that Celtic game and they had to go Dallas, New Orleans, right? That ain't nothing more than a custody battle between Zion and Luka over the custody of Devin Booker and them daggone children. That's it. That's all that is. And they lose 3. They've lost 5 straight games. Like I don't understand it. There's something wrong, and I don't know if it's a mix of DeAndre Ayton like and his attitude and his mindset of him not wanting to be there. But if I'm on your team, right? If I'm a professional basketball player, or say if I'm Devin Booker, if I'm the franchise, and I got you coming in that we just drafted, and I'm expecting me and you to be the next duo or whatever. I'm gonna be kind of upset knowing that you don't want to come back because I don't know where your head's at. I don't know if I can really go to war with you out here in the Western Conference where you have the Pelicans, a young team on the rise that just skyrocketed and took our spot at the top of the West. I don't know if I got guys around, and Chris Paul on the other hand, like he could probably got Kim in his head. You don't know. The guy's mental is just completely messed up. Look at D-Book. When D-Book broke up with Kendall Jenner, my man was going on a tear. He dropped 50 and 3/4 the next night. He was chilling. He was my man. But you got to think, this team has so many dysfunctional problems, so many players beside, like anybody outside of Devin Booker and maybe Mikal Bridges. I'm like, okay, they're ready to play Suns basketball. You can't say the same thing for DeAndre Ayton, and we've been saying that before the season started. Chris Paul, I mean, how do you walk up the court and just elbow a dude in the face because you're losing, bro? Like, come on now, like. It's the minuscule things. This team is just too dysfunctional.
There's a lot of things that happen to the Suns that don't happen to other teams. So I can agree that could be a factor in why they're losing, but I definitely think it's a lot more to do with they don't have their power forward. They've had bad point guard play from their, however old he is, 40-year-old point guard. But I do think, in a sense, this could be salvageable for this season. I think it's a long shot. I think you need to do more than trade Jay Crowder. because I've seen some 3-team trades that they were mocking up. It was like the Suns would get Eric Gordon in return. Like, that's not going to win them a championship. So my long shot trade, I mocked one up last night. As of right now, the Suns are 3rd in the league in offense, 12th in defense. I think that's a large part to do with the power forward position being missing. So I would call the Hawks. The Hawks would get DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, and picks to back it up. The Suns have a lot of picks. Maybe it's a first, maybe it's a second, whatever it would fit. The Suns would get Clint Capella, John Collins, and AJ Griffin. I like this because Chris Paul is a big reason as to why the Suns are not playing well right now, and you can revive him with a bouncy 4. The Suns have not had that. If you can excel Chris Paul's playmaking, if he's not going to be the shot creator anymore, I think your best chance to do it is to bring in a guy like John Collins, who has been 20 and 10 before, back in 2020. John Collins fell off a cliff, but he's still young. And Trae Young has had that system where he's had 2 lob threats in Clint Capella and John Collins. I think if the Suns have that, I think it gives them a boost defensively as athletes. And I like AJ Griffin a lot as a shooter to pair along with guys like Cam Johnson. AJ Griffin is athletic. That's more for the future. But I do think it makes them a better win-now team, considering DeAndre Ayton apparently doesn't want to be there. Jay Crowder's not playing, and the picks are sitting there. So it's not like you're going to waste away these seasons and blow up the team. That doesn't make any sense because you have pieces like Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges. But I do think, in a sense, if they could figure out again, it's a long shot, but I think that's the best chance you have at trying to compete now.
Why would the Hawks do this?
Because DeAndre Ayton is promising, and he'd actually want to play there, considering he doesn't want to play for the Suns. And they get it first.
Why would you?
And the
why
Hawks,
would you give
the
up
Hawks are not ready for championship either.
Why would you give up 2 of your 5 starters for DeAndre?
Because DeAndre Ayton. He's more valuable than Clint Capella and John Collins.
How much more valuable is he than Clint Capella?
Pretty much so, considering he's young. What are you talking about?
But like you're
And he's a
getting rid of
first
John
overall
Collins.
pick.
You're getting rid of John Collins.
John
who's
Collins
still
has
very
sucked.
Young.
Yeah.
Getting rid of John Collins, who's still very young. He might just be in a
Are
bad
the Hawks
stretch.
competing for anything right now?
No, but are they competing
No.
with DeAndre Ayton?
No, but they're getting DeAndre Ayton in a first.
You're getting rid of
What are we
AJ
talking
Griffin
about?
too. You're getting rid of AJ Griffin as well.
For more firsts. And a first overall pick, DeAndre Ayton.
I don't know.
What do you think the Suns should do?
I just see no dog in DeAndre Ayton. I
Oh
don't see
my
why everybody's so
gosh.
high on him. I don't see why
I
everybody's so high on him. If I'm being honest,
not saying
you
he's
played
a-
with
I'm
a
not-
guy like Chris Paul and you still have no dog. I don't know. Like
Is Clint Capella more of a dog than DeAndre? Like, what are we?
no.
what are we talking about?
But I think they could get a better deal than DeAndre Ayton with Clint Capella and John Collins and AJ Griffin. I think they could scheme up something better.
All right. So, if they don't go through
Like,
with that trade,
I'm just saying. Like,
I was saying
Yo,
the picks would balance it out. That's all out. Maybe take AJ Griffin out. No more AJ Griffin. All right. That's not
yeah,
the deal
I don't
breaker.
like the AJ Griffin.
No. All right. No AJ Griffin. Fine.
Because AJ Griffin's
DeAndre
good.
Ayton,
He's been
DeAndre,
good this season.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying. Whatever. But I'm saying picks talk
So-
to a team that's
Sure.
not contending. Picks talk.
I like DeAndre Ayton in a first. You don't even need to throw in Jay Crowder. I like DeAndre Ayton in a first for John Collins and Clint Capella. Sure.
You think
And
that
you want
works
to throw
for
in Jay
the-
Crowder?
the
You want
Hawks?
to throw in Jay Crowder?
Yeah, Jay Crowder.
I like that. I don't like giving up AJ Griffin. I don't like that. I don't like giving up a rookie
no
who's
AJ
showing
Griffin.
promise.
But I never mentioned AJ Griffin's. I never mentioned his value to this. I just thought it would be an extra nice piece that's a shooter. But the bulk of the trade is Capella and Collins to play with CP.
But
that
a
was-
trade,
that was the bulk of the
he's
trade.
included in the trade, so I included it in my
Whatever.
reasoning why I wouldn't have done it.
So,
I don't think DeAndre Ayton is worth that much where you're giving up 3 crucial parts to your roster
Next
for a
up,
guy that's gonna only fill the role of one of those pieces a little better. He's
I
gonna
still
do Clint
think you're
Capella's job a little
underestimating the
better.
power of first round picks.
I think you're underestimating the power of Kwame Brown. I don't. But no, 100%. He's good. I'm not hating on him. Is he ever an all-star?
DeAndre Ayton?
In this center league, in this dominant center league, is he ever
feel
going
like-
to be better than guys like Karl Anthony Towns? This is a
I
conversation
feel
we
like
need to have.
That's.
I mean, that's
possible.
actually it is
That's very
possible, very
possible.
possible.
I don't-
Considering
I
that,
think
considering that Cat has pretty much probably already peaked as a player, I don't think there's much more Cat can give besides like maybe something that can contribute to wins in Minnesota. And if you
don't
trade- if you're-
underestimate first-round picks, first overall
if
picks.
if I'm just saying, if you're trading DeAndre Ayton, are we still hypothetically saying that he's going to the Hawks? right?
Yeah. Like,
So if you're trading away DeAndre Ayton there,
listen,
we
I'll
think
admit,
that-
I might just be a hater here. I'm not a hater on DeAndre Ayton, but I might
Mm-hmm.
sound like a hater here when I say this. I think at best he's a good player. He's not an all-star.
No, that's
I don't
He
at
does not
best
show
a good player. Who else
I'm
are
not-
good
Like,
he's never
players
shown-
in the league?
A great player is an all-star to me. I'm not. I don't throw around the terms of.
great and elite.
Yeah, I don't throw those terms around. All right, elite is superstar, great is all-star, good is a good, solid player, has the numbers, whatever. I don't think he's ever an all-star, because this league is too talented for DeAndre Ayton to be an all-star, in my opinion. He could prove me wrong. He can eat my words. What do I know? I'm sitting at home in my boxers, waiting to go write an exam with all the student debt, and he's making millions of dollars. I'm not a hater when I say this, but
I respect it.
I'm thinking realistic here. Is he ever going to be an all-star? Like, is his value that high to you? And if it is, sure, he's the first overall pick. I could see that. Sure, you're looking at the potential. I don't see it. I think he's had enough years to show that potential. And I think he's had the teams to show that potential. I think his attitude, I don't like his attitude. I don't like the no dog in him.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Okay, you
All
gotta
I'm
be. You gotta
saying
be
is
honest.
using
He has
using
moments where he
attitude
doesn't
when
have
we
a
haven't
dog.
really seen. Like,
I
I
don't
don't
ca-
know what they're doing to him on the Phoenix Suns. I have no idea.
Sure, and I could be wrong. I'm just saying. I don't see him ever being an all-star. Maybe
That's
No.
see, that's something you could say, but saying that you don't like his attitude and then there's no
I don't.
dog for the reason.
I don't like his attitude. When by his attitude I meant his presence on. He's not a vocal leader. He's not a guy that's like Joel Embiid on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like my center
So
position should be like, come on. I don't need to see
You
you
heard him, man.
butt naked in a towel doing shoulder presses after a game when you lost.
See, that's the kind of. All right, I'm
I need to see you-
labeling you.
I need
I'm
to see
labeling
you-
you as a hater. I'm labeling you as a hater.
Sure. I just said if you want to see me as a hater, sure, I don't mind. But I
So-
also need to see some dog presence. That's why I don't. Bro, Joel Embiid, I have so much respect for Joel Embiid because he is a dog. I have respect for dogs. I don't see that. And in a center, if I'm gonna label you,
Is Joel Embiid a dog? Are we gonna get
Yes.
into this?
Joel Embiid's a troll dog.
yes,
He's a
What
big
is-
troll.
yes, he's bro.
He falls
what?
down every possession.
I don't care. He
Oh
puts
my
60, 50
God.
points on the board every game. He's a dog. He's a dog.
Hey, bro, he's a calculated dog. He found a way to put the ball in the basket. That's the most efficient way.
He can be a sophisticated chihuahua. He's still
Can
a
I-
dog.
Can I? Hold on. So if we don't like this trade, I'll end it at this. Hawks and Suns. Hold up. Hawks and Suns. If you want to do it, DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, 2, 3 first, whatever for Capella, Collins, AJ Griffin. I just like the future of the Suns. If they're like, I don't mind giving those first because Collins gives them future. So I have no issue with and AJ Griffin as well. So if they want to give him 3, 4 first, whatever they're getting, like I think it's a decent deal to be able to win now more than they're winning now, along with having a better future. Because then you just got to replace the point guard and let the whole system run. My other targets for them, Patrick Beverly is dirt cheap, and the Suns don't
yeah.
have a great offense or great defense rather. That could be
Yeah.
just like a fun throw him a second, see what he does.
Bro,
Throw him a
okay,
bone.
imagine,
Throw him a bone.
just imagine Patrick Beverly in Phoenix after
With Chris
shoving
Paul.
both of, bro. He shoved Chris Paul 2 years ago and then shoved DeAndre Ayton this year. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know if Phoenix fans are gonna. You know what? I feel like they'll.
By
be
the way,
fine.
DeAndre Ayton has not shown he has shown little to no improvement since he's gotten the league.
Yeah, I agree. He's nothing.
And
like,
he's had
juice.
5 seasons. And he's had 5 seasons to showcase
Yeah,
as a
I
number
agree.
1 pick. As a number 1 pick in your 5th season, you should be at least an elite all-star. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah,
That's your
yeah.
expectation as a number 1 pick.
He's been
He
disappointing,
he's
but he's still
disappointing.
been a good
for
center.
sure.
He's a good. That's literally what I said. That is literally what I said. He is good, and
Yeah,
I'm
he's a good
leaving it at
center.
that. Yeah, he's good. Oh, he's a good center. He's a good center. He's not
He
a
had
he's not
5
a
points
giveaway.
against the
He's not a
Rockets.
giveaway 2 of my starters and a nice little rookie
For 3 first-round picks.
You
What
said
are we
3?
talking?
You said 3.
I
You
literally
did not say
said-
3.
I said
you just said a first round pick.
picks that would make it work.
Wallah,
the
you
first
said
round picks that would
either a
make it
second
work.
round pick or a first round pick. Wallah, you said either a second round pick or a first round pick. You
I-
did
I
not
could've
mention we were throwing in 3. Z, did you ever hear Hoop say we're
I
putting in
heard you
3
say
first
first
round picks?
round pick. I did not hear 3.
No
first round
3. You just said first round pick. You just
I
said
said
DeAndre in a pick.
If we
You
could
did
run
not
it,
say
we
3.
could run it back. I threw out the idea of a first and whatever, and I said a first.
You said-
but
you
then
said
I
they'll
said
throw
whatever
in a
would make
pick.
it work. I said whatever would make it work. I
Oh,
listened to
I'm
your
just supposed to
argument.
assume
I
3 three
listen to your
first-round
argument?
picks.
I said whatever would make it work.
Well, I don't know. Whatever making it work means giving them everything that the Suns. Of course, 3 first-round picks is a deal I'm taking. You did not include this. You did not include this.
I said
Guys,
the reason I was so
Z, be
skeptical
my
of
witness
your
here.
hating was because I said early on, I was like DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, maybe a first, whatever would make it work. That's what I said
Yeah,
first. And then I
maybe
said whatever would make it work.
first.
No.
How am I supposed
Oh
to
my
assume whatever
gosh.
making it work means 3
Because
first-round
they-
picks?
Guys,
Be
stop
honest.
fighting.
I didn't know. I
Stop
had to
fighting. It's
explain
jokes.
to you
It's
the.
jokes.
I
Stop
didn't know I
fighting.
had
It's
to,
jokes.
to explain to you the history of the Suns picks and what they have to deal.
I
They
didn't
have a
know I
lot
had to
deal.
assume you
They have a
meant
lot
the
to
number
deal.
3. I didn't know I had to assume
When we were
the number
talking
3.
about the Suns this episode, I just figured we all knew what they had on the table.
Yes, but I did not know we were
They have
assuming
all their
that.
picks.
Z. Okay, wait. Z.
The
Z.
whole
Be
the-
honest
the
with me. No.
whole
Just
point-
let me ask
this
you this
is
question.
not this
and
trade
I will-
finder. This is
I will-
supposed to be what players are going to help the Suns. The
Sure.
trade
Let me-
happens. This is not
let
like
me ask you this
GM. Oh,
question.
is this going to go through?
Let
I'm
me
going to
ask
veto.
Z
Like,
this
bro.
question. Let me ask Z this question. Z, I want you to be honest. God is watching. Okay.
Okay.
Did you? When Hoop said DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, maybe a first, whatever they need to throw in, did you assume 3 first-round picks?
I did
Let
not.
him speak. Yeah, well, who in their right mind is gonna assume throw in 3 first-round picks?
But,
if you said 3 first-round
know-
picks, I would have 110% backed you up and agreed instantly. And if that's your case, I agree. I would take that deal as the Hawks. But you did not mention 3 first-round picks. 3 first-round
gotta
picks
rub it- you gotta run it back. You gotta see if he was
is a haul. That is a U-Haul truck of a trade. If you're throwing a 3 first-round picks, you did not mention 3 first-round
My
picks.
mindset was we were talking about the players and the fit. So for the trade to go through, if they got to do 2 or 3 first-round picks, whatever, like that's what I was assuming was making this deal happen.
But
that's
we,
what the Suns
I didn't
have
hear
to
it, bro. I
trade.
didn't, bro. All you said for in terms of draft picks, you said a first, maybe a
I
second,
understand
depending
when
on
you
what
say
they want.
throw in, it sounds like a couple second rounders or whatever. But I
Okay.
Yeah, I
but
thought it
that's-
was second.
Like
yeah.
a 3 first-round picks is like you're trading for a superstar. Like that's a lot
That's
of
some
picks.
Rudy Gobert type numbers right there.
Yeah,
Whatever.
like
Whatever. That's the whole point of Capella, Collins, Griffin, and then whatever
Okay.
make it works from the Suns side,
Now I
considering they have
understand.
a haul of picks.
yes, but why am I supposed to assume they're giving up 3 of them?
Because that's what makes the trade work.
Who
I
we
just
trading
said,
for?
I
Who
said
we trading
what
for
makes
right now?
the trade
Westbrook?
work. We're trading for Capella, Collins, and AJ Griffin, the man who apparently, AJ Griffin, they just signed him. They're always running.
Yeah,
we're
AJ
giving
Griffin
out
in no
3
way
starters.
is worth 3 first-round picks. AJ Griffin is not worth 3 first-round
No,
picks.
but
I
you're
agree with
giving
you.
it Capella
I agree with
and-
you. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying I took away AJ Griffin from that trade because I didn't know the Suns were giving 3 first-round picks.
Dude, I said whatever
3
makes
first-round
it work.
picks.
Now
3
you're hold
first-round
on.
picks.
Okay,
in
okay,
some-
guys,
You're
guys.
saying this like I know what I'm doing as a GM. I said 3 because now I'm telling you how much the Suns have to offer. I'm saying whatever makes it work. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3. I don't know. I want the players for players. I'm not talking like a GM who's trying to make a deal. I'm talking like a fan who's saying
But you
these
just
is
said
what
the
he's the
trade-
player that's gonna make the team work. And
But
then
you
whatever
just said-
picks make it work makes it work.
But you just said the trade includes 3 first-round picks. That was your trade.
Because
you just said it after.
Because you were just upset with the deal when I said it was only 1. So I'm saying whatever makes it work. Maybe it's 3. Then you're like, oh, that's definitely a deal.
1
Let's
to
put it
3
at 2.
first-round
Let's
picks
put it
is
at 2.
a big difference.
Oh
bro.
my gosh! I'm
3
saying
first-
whatever makes the trade work. I'm
Yes,
talking
and
about
I
the
agree with you. If it
players.
works, yes, 3 first-round picks
I'd much
works.
rather talk
You
about
are right.
can
You are
John
right.
Collins fit with the Suns than how many first picks to get AJ Griffin. Like, bro, we're talking about like fit
Bro,
and basketball.
yes,
I'm not
yes,
talking about
yes.
money.
My point is,
Oh
my
my
point is,
gosh.
I'm taking it back. All of the things I said, if we're saying 3 first-round picks, that is my point. There is a
It's
big
whatever
difference.
makes it work in your mind. But
Bro.
okay, hold on. We talked about Pat Bev possibly being a decent fit. I also think they should target Mike Conley. I think he's a steady hand.
He's too much money.
Volume 3-point shooter.
He's too much money. Too much money.
What is Jay Crowder making right now?
Not as much as Mike Conley.
Is Mike Conley making that much?
Bro, he signed the biggest contract of all time like 3 years ago, remember? At the time, he signed the biggest contract ever
What?
with the Grizzlies.
Look up
Yeah.
that man's salary.
Bro, at one point, Mike Conley was the most highest paid NBA player of all time. Or like highest contract
Dog,
of all
what?
time. You didn't know that?
No.
Bro, he's making bank.
Let me look
He's
at this.
making the Grizzlies signed
They
him.
gave him
and
a
this is-
supermax?
Yeah, it was the biggest contract at the time.
Mike Conley?
Yeah,
How is he eligible for a supermax?
because he's a dog.
The same way that Quinn Cook's eligible for $500 million in the bank right now.
There's 1 of 3 things you have to meet. You have to make
Hold
an
on.
All-Star
He got
game.
a new deal. It's worth 22 right now, but he was making 34 in 2021.
Yeah, and that was the biggest. Like at the time when he signed it, it was the biggest deal.
So he signed that back in 2017, just to be fair.
Yeah.
But this is not 3 years ago, okay? 3 years ago was
Oh.
like 2020.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, you're
He's still-
nitpicking me. I'm
he's
gonna
still
nitpick
making-
you.
Still making. What do you mean, bro? You said
3 years ago? Three
first-
years ago?
Oh. Okay.
I said
Okay.
whatever makes it work because I wanted to talk
Oh,
about basketball.
no,
I didn't
no,
want
you
to talk
just-
about.
you
I didn't
just
want to talk like a
randomly said
GM.
3
I
first-round
wanted to
picks.
talk like a coach who's trying to scheme up stuff. I didn't want to talk like a GM.
But you said a realistic trade package. We have to talk like GMs if we're talking trade
It's a
packages.
realistic trade package when you're giving them the picks they need for the deal to go
Three-
through.
3 first-round picks and DeAndre Ayton for John Collins is not realistic. Let's be
See?
honest.
Go on your Jordan Poole rant. I can't.
Wait, we're at the 45-minute mark. Should we save no pool party for next episode?
Let's go 5 minutes. 50 minutes is fine.
Okay. It's
you
not
need
even
more
gonna
than
take that
5
long.
minutes?
I
Okay.
need like maybe 3.
Okay.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the GOAT ZZ Huncho, and I am a Golden State Warrior fan. And I'm very, very upset. I've been very upset all season because the one constant thing that I've been seeing for the Golden State Warriors is the inconsistencies of Jordan Poole, and it's getting on my nerves. My man just signed an $140 million contract extension over the summer, okay? Now, going into this season, when we were looking at the Warriors' struggles to begin with, we were talking about Klay Thompson, right? Me and Sandy had a whole episode going back and forth, arguing over Klay Thompson and his inconsistent struggles. However, I looked at Klay Thompson and I said he's a top 5 shooter of all time. I'm not worried about him. He's a 3-and-D guy. He's playing his role. Golden State Warrior fans even were suggesting to trade Klay Thompson because of the Warriors' struggles or bringing him off the bench for Jordan Poole. Now, when I look at Jordan Poole's numbers from last night's pivotal game against the Indiana Pacers, my man had 20 points on 22 shots. Against Milwaukee, he had 18 on 17 shots. Against Dallas, a few weeks back, he had 9 points on 9 freaking attempts. Now, the reason I'm pointing out these specific games specifically is because there are certain moments where we have needed Jordan Poole to at least look like he is not afraid to either shoot the basketball or dribble the basketball or even pass the basketball. It is a damn shame that Dante DiVincenzo is doing more for that bench unit than Jordan Poole. And if you look at the numbers, you would assume that it was Jordan Poole until you look at the daggone efficiency. But Dante DiVincenzo was out there bringing the ball up the court, trying to facilitate, get other guys involved. Not to mention his defense is miles better than Jordan Poole's is, especially when we're talking about passing lanes and even just actually giving effort, okay? Jordan Poole, the reason he's under a microscope is because, now listen, I don't know if Draymond knocked the talent out of him, but Draymond's looking like he deserves some money right now based off of his play throughout the course of this season. Draymond's shooting 54% from the field. I never thought I would say those. I would never thought I'd say that sentence, but it is what it is. Jordan Poole is coming off the bench, and we need him to do one damn thing. That is not to go out there and stagnate the offense by freaking spam dribbling until he gets a shot that he likes or until he creates a random highlight for ESPN. No, we need you to go out there and not only shoot lights out, not only do your thing and get to the rim, but facilitate as well. The Warriors' biggest issue is not their starting lineup, because their starting lineup with Klay, Wiggs, Steph, Draymond, Loon is one of the top 3 offensive starting lineups in the league. So there's no issue there. The issue with the Warriors comes off the bench, and the main issue is because there isn't a guy off the bench besides Dante DiVincenzo or maybe JaMychal Green who's actually trying to get a flowing offense going. So my problems with Jordan Poole are, my man, you just got paid. Okay, you just got a bag. All right. If I'm not mistaken, Wiggins got a bag too, and Wiggins is balling out doing his thing. We expected that from the second best player on the team in the finals. But Jordan Poole, you are the future of this franchise. And unfortunately, the keys are kind of being handed to you and Moody and Kuminga and all these boys. Kuminga and Moody are trying their damnness to make an impact for this team in these certain pivotal games. Last night, Moody went 5 of 6, I believe, from the field, made his first 5 shots. Kuminga was out there looking like a springboard, looking like a pogo stick out there, getting them offensive rebound putbacks. But Jordan Poole was pulling all these stupid shots coming off of screens, trying to drive in and dunk on the Pacers. I think twice he got his stuff sent. I don't know what he was doing last night. But Jordan Poole, please, from the bottom of ZZ Huncho's heart, I need you to realize your position on this team. You can go out there and drop 23 to 24 points off the bench, but do it efficiently and maybe add in maybe 5 to 6 assists and stop every time when you get the ball, when you have Steph. I literally saw this play the other night and it boiled my blood. It was Steph in the corner, JP right next to him, Klay on the other wing, Draymond at the top of the key, right? So there's, you know how the Warriors swing the ball around, like swing it Clay's way, set a screen, swing it Clay's off-ball screen for Steph, things like that, trying to get them open. They kept doing that, and then the moment that they pass it to Jordan Poole, he starts dribbling. He starts spam dribbling. I saw Steph in the
ISO
corner literally
Lord.
like, ISO God, ISO Lord, ISO Demon. Steph literally, he's as soon as he gets it, he starts dribbling, and Steph's just like, and then he turns the ball over. He added to like the 15 to 17 turnovers we already had. JP, this is a moment for you, my brother, my light-skinned brother. I need you to facilitate. Do your thing off the bench. You can still do your thing off the bench. You can still shoot them little 40-footers, baby splash, or kid splash, whatever they want to call them. But just facilitate. Give Dante DiVincenzo some help. Please. Please. That's all I got.
I never thought I'd hear those words. Jordan Poole, give Dante DiVincenzo some help.
I know, it's
But-
crazy, ain't it?
No hate to either of them. Just a random duo to think of.
They should be so good. They should be so good.
But, I mean, that's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in. This was episode 35?
KD.
Dang. All right. Well, we will see you on episode 36. Until then, make sure to reiterate how many draft picks you throw in a trade if you were to tell your friend a mock trade package. And that is all for today.
I got tight.
And we'll keep it there. All right. Thank you for listening. Bye.